Let me play among the stars. Right, a couple of quick tips from my own personal experience. One thing, if you do stockpile things in the house that's not illegal, not breaking any laws, but, for example, if you were to not trust the financial institutions and you wanted to keep cash in the house in case your bank account gets frozen or emptied. So if you want to keep cash in the house, apparently police dogs can smell money. Makes you wonder what chemicals they're using to make the cash if a dog can smell it. Anyway, one thing you can do that is rather inexpensive is a bit of curry powder, bit of curry powder, or pepper. Just once every now and again, sprinkle a bit around the door, on the inside of the door. So all you got to do, a little bit of pepper, sprinkle, just inside the door frame, and sniffer dogs won't smell a fucking thing for at least a couple of days. Another little thing which I have done, not in this country, I should emphasize it was not in this country, but something that I did when I was being, shall we say, fisted without lubrication in another country. I secreted about my person a flash drive, a little 4 gig flash drive, thumb drive, what you want to call it. And upon that, I had what is commonly called a self-bootable iOS. This was essentially Ubuntu. I dare anyone to say that word without sounding racist. Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a Linux-based operating system. The version I had was so old-fashioned, it didn't even have right-click. And it was a very basic operating system on this flash drive. It was only 150 meg in size. And it has one very specific task. When you put this into a computer and restart the computer and vigorously press F12 or whichever F key is relevant, it will automatically boot into that flash drive. You can then select it and it will overwrite the computer with a brand new operating system and delete the contents. Now, the authorities in question had no security on the computers because nobody's going around sticking computers because they didn't know how to use them very well. So, during the interrogation, he went out to urinate in my food and get himself a cup of coffee. During which time, I removed the thumb drive from my sleeve, popped it into the computer, restarted it. It took about 3 or 4 minutes. I didn't know at the time that the intranet settings for that particular barracks, they don't call them police stations over there, was actually set up to automatically update the entire system constantly. They had no idea. They had to call in tech support from Dublin to find out why it is their entire system had been erased and replaced with a rather happy-looking Indian kitten bouncing up and down the screen. It took them several weeks to get rid of it, and that's all they could see was this Indian kitten bouncing up and down, going we get our satisfaction where we can, but a couple of very passive, non-criminal things you can have about your person. A flash drive with a very basic operating system that would erase anything on a computer. Takes a couple of minutes. And you do not need a password. You do not need a password to install a new operating system because you boot into the BIOS by pressing F key, F12. And it works on any machine, Mac, OS, Linux, Windows. Reason this came to my mind is that I just got a new PC and we're putting some kind of Linux-based operating system on it. So yeah, 2 little things you can do for a bit of off-grid to maintain your privacy. A bit of salt and pepper around the house for seasoning your fish and chips, or to season the nostrils of a police dog, and a little flash drive. The flash drive will cost you, I got a 64 gig one for £5. so they're not exactly expensive. And the operating system is free. Just download it from online. So little things that can make a big difference in your life. Bye! Oh, one last little comment. Just to the the police watching this. Yes, everyone is now well aware that nobody's allowed to leave the country. Like, getting a boat on the water, getting access to the sea, unless you happen to be a government employee. Slipways blocked off. Harbour masters don't exist. Even the lifeboats are having a hassle getting into the water. Bye.